everyone, it's me, Cara from Kindling Minds, and I'm really glad you're joining me today. This episode is for any parent, carer, educator, or learner who has ever felt that knot of worry around learning. That moment when things feel too big, too fast, or just too overwhelming. Now, before we dive in, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge a little pause I've had recently. I stepped back for a while to look after my health and to get my new office finished. A space that feels calm, grounded, and truly ready to welcome the work ahead. So thank you to everyone who's been patient and supportive during that time. That breathing space has made a world of difference, and now I'm back, settled, and genuinely raring to go. It feels good to be here, and I'm excited to reconnect with you today and get stuck into this episode. Welcome back to Neurodiverse Voices. I'm Cara, a teacher, business owner, and just like many of you, someone trying to navigate this wild journey of being neurodivergent in a world that doesn't always get it. You might recognise a child who freezes the moment the pencil hits the paper, or one who bursts into tears before homework even begins. Or maybe a child who avoids learning altogether because trying feels too scary. So today we're talking about why confidence should always come before curriculum, learning, especially for anxious or neurodivergent learners, and how emotional safety isn't a nice to have, it's the foundation the whole house is built on. So let's take this slowly. Let's explore what gets in the way, what helps, and how small shifts can genuinely rebuild confidence from the inside out. So what actually is emotional safety? Let's start with something simple but often overlooked. Emotional safety is the feeling of being understood, accepted, and supported, even when things feel really tough and hard. It's knowing mistakes won't be met with shame. It's knowing you won't be rushed or judged. It's knowing that the adult beside you is calm, steady, and most importantly, on your team. For neurodivergent learners, especially those who are anxious, the world can feel unpredictable. So routines, gentle expectations, and clear boundaries aren't restrictive, they're grounding. Emotional safety looks like a child asking for help without fear, a learner saying, "I need a minute," instead of panicking, or a young person trusting that they won't be laughed at for getting something wrong. Now think for a moment. What signals do your child give you when they're overwhelmed? Is it withdrawal? Are they irritable? Do they get worked up on perfectionism? Or going into a funny mode, a comical mode to hide the anxiety? Noticing these patterns is the first step forward towards safety. So why is confidence and learning intertwined? Here's the thing most people don't really realise. Confidence isn't a personality trait. It's a feeling built on repeated experiences of being supported, believed in, and a space to grow. When a learner feels unsafe, the thinking part of the brain, the part we need for memory, reasoning, and problem solving, it goes offline. Anxiety literally steals working memory. And it's not personal, it's biology. So if a child's anxious and we push harder, or add time pressure, or compare them to others, they're not resisting the work. Their brain simply can't access it. But when they feel safe, the brain opens back up. Curiosity returns. Mistakes become information rather than danger, and learning becomes possible. So we often start or think about learning first. And why doesn't that work for anxious learners? We'll often jump into, how do we get them to finish this task? How do I keep them on track? How will we ever cover all of the material that we need to? But anxious learners aren't being stubborn or lazy. They're trying to protect themselves from feeling incompetent, embarrassed, or overwhelmed. I've sat with so many children who whisper, "But what if I get it wrong?" And that fear is huge. It's consuming. And let me share a moment from my own practice. I was sitting on the carpet with a small group working on a maths problem. One child became visibly upset, tears in the eyes and head down. So I gave the others a task and stayed with this child. They whispered softly to me, "I feel stupid and I can't do it. I don't want to let you down." And I told them, if you don't understand, that's on me. I haven't explained it right, in the right way for you yet. Your job is to keep trying. Mistakes are proof that you're learning and not failing. So we regulated together, slowed the pace and started again, step by step. By break, that same child walked outside smiling, saying, I actually did it. Now that moment had nothing to do with the curriculum and the learning. It had everything to do with confidence. So what actually helps building confidence and a confident environment? Well, let's break it into simple, practical pieces. Nothing overwhelming and nothing unrealistic. So, connection first. Before a child can learn, they need to feel safe. They need to feel connected. That means focusing on warm greetings, predictable routines, compassion when things feel too big, pausing before you react, and saying, I hear you, let's work this out together. So you could try asking, what do you need right now to feel settled enough to start? That tiny question opens a door no worksheet ever could. Then there's choice and your voice. Anxious learners often feel powerless. Giving them even small choices restores control. Try offering, would you like to start with reading or something practical? Or you could say, do you want me to sit with you or check in every few minutes? You could even say, do you want to try this now or set a timer and start when it goes off? These aren't loopholes, they're bridges. We're reducing the threat of making mistakes. One of the biggest barriers anxious learners face is fear of getting it wrong. We all make mistakes. It's normal and it's human. But to learners, it can feel huge. We can say we don't rush confidence. Not yet doesn't mean never. Let's explore what confused you. That's where the learning happens. Or I'll go first and I'll make a mistake. Here's a mistake I've made. And that relatability to the child pushes that confidence into knowing they can try, and even if they get it wrong, it's not the end of the world. By not removing the challenge, you're removing shame. We also need to make success achievable. Break things down until the child says, yeah, I can do that. That might be a 5-minute job, or a 1-step task, or simply just writing a sentence. These small wins build momentum. They say, I can do this. I'm capable. I'm clever. I'm safe to try. And at the end of the day, that's what matters. So what can adults do to support this process? This part is so important, and it's where many adults, teachers, educators, parents feel pressure. But just take a deep breath. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be present. Here's a few things that can help. Your calm helps them stay calm. Your tone matters more than the strategy. Their big feelings are not a reflection of your ability as a parent or a teacher. You're not failing and they're not failing. Try noticing your own signals too. Do you rush when you're stressed? Do you raise your voice when the room feels chaotic? Does their anxiety trigger yours? Awareness isn't blame, it's information. The same way we frame it for kids. So, practical takeaways. Let's ground this in a few simple steps you can bring into your home or classroom today. Start with a check-in. How calm do you feel now? Do we need to talk through anything that's happened today? What would help you get ready to learn? Or what would help you get ready to sit and try your homework? Shrink the task until the child feels they can breathe again. This isn't dumbing down, it's scaffolding. Breaking every single step right down, and achievable tasks become visible and therefore doable. Celebrate effort over outcome. Not fake praise, but genuine noticing. You tried that again, even though you were worried. Well done, that matters. But tiny steps grow into confident learners. And that's what we want. We want less anxiety and more confidence in not their ability to get things right, but in their ability to try no matter what. So as we wrap up today, I want you to remember this. Every learner deserves to feel safe before they're asked to be brave. Confidence isn't built through pressure. It's built through connection, calm, and trust. For any parent, teacher, or young person listening, you're not alone in this. Anxiety around learning is more common than people realise, and it doesn't have to define a child's future. Confidence grows, safety can be built, and learning becomes joyful again, in its own time and in its own way. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If you feel today's episode resonated, feel free to reach out or share it with someone who might need a little grounding and reassurance themselves. Until next time, take care of yourself and take small, gentle steps. Bye for now.